CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Joe Mixon, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Jets take a 3-touchdown lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Second down and 3. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. This defense for the Jets, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
And he's going to have a Commander's first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys certainly need something good to go their way, because this first quarter has been something of a disaster for them trying to move the ball. But that completion there maybe can get them focused.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. (21-0) our score after 1. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Running left, it's Mixon. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. Rodgers wants to change the look. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now it's Rodgers. This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. First and 10. Now a late signee let go by Minnesota in June. It's Dalvin Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks.
Touchdown! Joe Mixon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, forget about the weapons out wide. He knows he's got another weapon in the backfield of the passing game, Charles, and he utilized him perfectly on that play.
And the offense coordinator showed me something on that play, Brandon, because so often during a game, our cameras find them looking down at their play sheets, and you wonder if they're absorbing anything. He had something specific in mind, and he went to it, and it worked well.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Powell. Open man is the tight end, John Bates. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
So often when we're watching a football game, we see one with a lot of ebbs and flows, and this one is no different. And sometimes you just need a big play to wake you up a bit. And they get one right there. That shot of caffeine this offense was looking for.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Here's Howell. Complete, it's Dotson. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 28. Straight ahead, Gibson. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Off play action. It's Howell. Hitting Samuel on the slant. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Jets are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him? And Rodgers is going to go down in the end zone. It's a safety. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. That's pulled in at the 32. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and let a fire under these guys. They got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
From the gun again to Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Rodgers changing the play, it appears.
To throw is Rodgers. To throw on second down. Wilson's got it complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Joe Mixon on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Jets will extend their lead here just before halftime. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. From the end zone, here's Pringle.
That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Out of his hands quickly to Higgins. His second catch. This one not quite as dynamic as his first. And it's second down. Was that a design pass or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
A gain
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Rodgers. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. On play action. Now Rodgers. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Inside the 20, Terry McLaurin, touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Commanders are able to cut into that deficit. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Hardman going to bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Rodgers. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's...
And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick.
Inside the 20.
And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give to Cook out of the gun. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yard.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets.
Joe Mixon. That's his 18th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jets take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points. What a game it's been for him in the backfield, Charles, as he pounds it into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, and he hits the end zone one more time, and his blockers cleared all those lanes. Before the snap, they called for the heavy unit, right? 3 tight ends coming on the field, and they got the job done clearing the way.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
From the 41, here's 2nd down and 5. Faking the handoff, Howell.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
At this point in the game, in the situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Howell down to throw it.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Tressway now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that. Charles' defense, they were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, it's Mixon. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 89 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Rodgers going to shift him around. Rodgers now on 1st down. And his throw here is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 45-yard line. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Rodgers now to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Football 101, you've got to let the guy catch the ball.
You have to know the ball is there. You have to know it's arrived. Otherwise, you're going to get flagged every time.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And Howe will throw it. Short throw here, the tight end Bates. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just continue.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. And this play's still live. He faked the spike. Going to throw it. Under pressure, they got him again. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack.
Well, I wish this staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the fourth quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I'd get the backups in there if it were me.
Slings this deep from McLaurin. And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. But with this advantage, this defense knew the passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
And quickly, they get to the line. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he is going to have the Jets first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches. Lazard will go in motion right. Now he's going to get it on the jet sweep. Oh, fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Inside handoff to Mixon. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. This a 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw with Rodgers. That's complete right side to Lazard. Touchdown Jets. Alan Lazard from 8 yards out. And the Jets are closing in on a 9th victory on the year as they extend their lead. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From the end zone, here's Pringle. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Now a nice play defensively on 1st down as this is knocked away and incomplete. 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago. Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
Zerline's kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
The offense on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Howell. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
That goes for a gain of 31. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Mixing up the middle. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. And now they're in the hurry-up. Rodgers looking to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, we know someone just added to his touchdown passing total, but all he did was get the ball out quickly to his tight end and let him take care of business the rest of the way.
Rodgers and the Jet offense staying out there. They'll go for 2. Rodgers will throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there. And sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
From the end zone, here's Pringle. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Throwing here, Howell. They'll set up the screen for Gibson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Howell looking to throw again. Back to Gibson, and another catch for him. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. 2nd and 12, operating from the 39. Here's Howell. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Howell throwing on 3rd down here. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. So again from the 39, this time from the other side of the field. Here's 1st and 10. Howell's throw taken in by Samuel. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
A gain of 21 yards. And the Washington first down.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for the Jets, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Washington, it's another loss as they now fall to 4-11. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com.